Lastly, we have Skylar Schock, a Master's of Fine Arts student in Theater Arts. Her presentation title is Laugh Until You Cry.
Well, keep it going for yourselves for coming out tonight and for your wonderful speakers you've heard so far. That's it. That's the best we can do, clapping. As you just heard, my name is Skylar Schock, and I'm currently earning my master's degree in performance, or as I like to call it, a socially acceptable way for my parents to tell their friends that I'm an actor and a stand-up comic. In fact, when I got ready to do today's presentation, I met with the incredible team, and at the very first meeting, they said, "Great, can we see your PowerPoint?" And I stood up and I went like this. And I held it, and I held it, and I held it for a little bit longer, and then finally someone asked, what was that? And I explained that that was a PowerPoint, and they said, no, we meant a slideshow. And I said, I don't have one of those. Usually if I see a slideshow, I think I'm in the wrong room. So then they explained to me that it would be best if I told all of you today that I was going to be doing a little bit of stand-up comedy as a part of my set. So I said, great, you want me to educate the most educated room of people I've ever talked to on laughing. Can do. Got it. So today I'm going to tell you very quickly a little bit about why you laugh. I'm going to tell you about why it matters to me and what I'm planning to do about it. Oh, there I am again. So comedy is really, really subjective, right? Like just ask Chris Rock. And no one can say for sure what makes someone laugh, but we have a pretty good idea on how to structure a joke to more likely get some laughter, and that's called a laugh trigger. So a couple laugh triggers. The first one is called surprise. And in this type of a joke, you want to structure it so you're misdirecting the audience. I recently tried to end it with the most toxic man in my life, Trader Joe. So yeah, you've heard of him as well. Another form of a laugh trigger is called comedic irony. So the only time I've ever been offered drugs was at a cop's house. That's a true story. So one of the most popular forms of laugh trigger is simply recognition. And that's just the idea that you laugh because you understand it relates to you. You've been there before, right? And this one is actually the most important to me because it inadvertently inspired the very event that I'm here to talk about. So last December, I had spent several weeks at home with my family, and I came back and I hosted a comedy set at Wise Guys Comedy Club, and I was testing out some new material. I'd been home with my family, right? I get back, and I test out this joke. I said, having a relationship with a family member as an adult is a lot like being in a relationship with someone you wish you would have broken up with years before. Everything about the person drives you crazy, but you have too many inside jokes to call it quits, right? My family and I just see the world completely differently. I see them as mentally unstable, and they think I spend too much money. And I said that joke, and it was funny to me. Some of you didn't laugh, but I didn't realize at the time I said that joke, and there was a family member I was specifically referring to when I told this joke, and I didn't realize that about 3 weeks from this set, that specific family member would have an actual, very severe mental breakdown resulting in their hospitalization. And it was a pretty painful experience for myself, my family, and that family member, and I didn't know that what I was doing was using comedy as a way to not just process what I was going through, but as a way to start a conversation about it. Because the first time I laughed and the first time my family laughed, we knew we were going to be okay. And so to me, I thought, that's what comedy at its very best can do. Comedy can serve as a place to start a conversation and create community and connection in a room and give us a place to address difficult conversations, right? So I'm producing an event called Laugh Until You Cry, a one-of-a-kind stand-up comedy experience that mixes the entertainment of stand-up comedy with a talk back with the audience so that we can, in the room, create an opportunity to just have conversations and talk about why we laugh. Because the moment we all laughed in here together, we became a little bit closer, right? So thank you. It is important to know I'm not a doctor or a scientist or even close to that. The closest I'll ever be is like playing one on TV. So as we structure this event, I really and truly want it to be a powerful experience, but I know that I need help to do that. So we plan on talking with a bunch of experts to design the proper format for a group and community-based event like this. We're going to work to create the right stand-up comics who specifically can address topics that'll help us as an audience bring together a diverse group of people and a diverse group of topics to address. And along the way, as we produce this specific event, we're going to actually document the process, create a documentary of our journey so that we can hopefully create a platform that other communities can use to produce their own Laugh Until You Cry events. Now, I obviously don't have time to go through the whole thing with everyone right now, but I did want to give you all a very small example of what this could look like. Now, I've spoken with a few of you in this room, and I know that when I ask this question, there will be at least one person who raises their hand, but I have a feeling it might be more. So I made a joke a few minutes ago that was my way of processing a loved one going through a mental health issue. And if you have ever had someone in your life that you've cared about, or you yourself have had to deal with a mental health issue and not had the right words to talk about it, I'm going to ask that you raise your hand in just a minute, okay? Do you think we can do that? I think you can. So if that statement resonates with you, could you please raise your hand? Take a look around the room. And just know that when you walk out the door, you're a little bit closer to everyone in here, and it was comedy that did it. So thank you all so much, and I'll hopefully see you soon.